How do you not care about people? And I said, this is what the people wanted. You can only help people so much so far. The old saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. We have spent the last 4 years on these topics, talking about these things. And people, a lot of people, almost 80 million people, 78 million people, walked into voting booths and said, yep, Trump. Trump Vance. And honest, and in many cases, in many states, voted for Democrats elsewhere. That's the well, it's not funny because I understand split ticket voting, but people find it funny, because there was, so, like, for instance, in Arizona, Trump picks up Arizona from Kamala Harris, but Ruben Gallegos, the Democrat, beats Carrie Lake. you know, and that gets into, I think, a lot of, I mean, odd things where there's this juxtaposition where this was not a policy election, it was a vibes election. And it was funny because when Kamala Harris came in August, people talked about this is the vibes election, and I'm kind of like, oh, that's great while the vibe is going in your direction, but when the vibe shifts, that cannot necessarily work into your favor. Lo and behold, um, there's also, I think, what's very interesting is people, you know, I think never really got a chance to know Kamala Harris because she had 100 days to introduce herself and Tim Walz to the nation, talk about policy, talk about all these things, figure all this stuff out, and also battle 4 years of misinformation coming out of Donald Trump. As I told someone this morning, here's what the left did not have in the last 4 years. It did not have someone whose 24/7 dedicated job was to run for president and fundraise all day, every day, for 4 long years. Kamala and Biden were busy being, I don't know, the president and vice president of the United States. Big jobs, very busy, lots of time, lots of things to do. If you're actually into doing stuff, which Trump is not. But if you're into doing things, lots of things to do. We did not have someone spending the last 4 years running for president. And never have I wanted to be more wrong, but when Biden dropped out in late July and Kamala Harris was put in, well, endorsed by him, which caused her to be put in. At the time, I said you cannot swap out presidential candidates and win. And the DNC just shoved Biden out, and they might have just lost us the election. And for a minute, I'll admit, it was a toss up. I thought, we might get away with this. This will be a first in American history. She would have been the third vice president to ever won election after president. She would have been the first person to literally have run a presidential campaign in 100 days and won. Unprecedented. Absolutely, 110% unprecedented.